Welcome to Voices of Leadership. I'm Chris Atwell, and in each episode, I sit down with the leaders shaping the future of the manufacturer's rep industry. Real stories, real challenges, real growth. This is where leadership comes to life. Anthony, thank you so much for joining me today, man. I'm so excited to learn more about your leadership journey and creating a space where you can be visible and share your experiences, your learnings, the mindsets that you've adopted over time that have shaped the type of leader you are today. So really appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, man, happy to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to share my story, if you will.
Excellent, excellent. All right, let's start here. I'm wondering if you would be open to sharing what you believe to be the most defining moment in your leadership career so far in running your business, and how that has shaped you as a leader. Is there one defining moment, and what is it? What was that moment?
Man, that's a deep question. I can't say that I've ever put a lot of thought into it. I feel like my leadership skills would probably, like most people, are shaped when they're young, right? They watch the people around them, how they interact with people, how they treat people, how they serve people. And I was fortunate enough to grow up with a father who served everyone he possibly could with the talents and skills he had. People came to him for everything. And I thought it was a very endearing quality in him.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I admired it because so many people admired him. And in a selfish way, I wanted people to have the same admiration for me. But that wasn't really my internal thought. It's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to be like my father. And I think watching him take care of people is how I lead. I just want to make sure that the people around me are taken care of. So if they have needs or special wants or concerns or challenges that they're having trouble filling, I want to be involved in some way. And if I can lend some assistance or just some sort of support, then I'm eager to help.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm hearing here is that the moment for you is from over time, it's moments, but it's really the exposure, inspiration, the example that your father set for you by serving others that has led to shaping the way that you serve others today.
I would agree to that for sure. I'm sure there's a moment in my professional career that I could probably locate somewhere deep in the cobwebs. That might be a good example of that, but I just feel like it's so much a part of me that I don't think how I'm managing or how I'm leading. I'm just leading.
Yeah, there's like this Rolodex living in the back of your head with all these different moments, and it's just tucked away subconsciously. Yeah. When we run businesses or lead teams, it's never easy. There's great times, there's challenging times, and we're often faced with tough moments. Okay. I would love to hear a tough moment that came up for you where you really had to overcome it, that really made a difference on how you approach your leadership now. And what did you do to overcome it?
It was about 13, 14 years into my business, and I was faced with a challenge of losing a very important team member, which made me shift kind of everything. Like the hours that I was putting in, the places I needed to be, the commitments I needed to fulfill. And over the course of a year and a half, I also closed a warehouse, built a new one, started hiring new staff, and all of a sudden, I was employeeless. I went from a team of 3 to a team of 1 and needed to find the strength to come into work and do my job and fulfill my commitments.
Yeah.
Then also rebuild a team. And in rebuilding that team, I needed to show perseverance. I needed to show confidence. I needed to be stronger than I think I've ever been, because I needed to let them know that we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
That although I'm dealing with all of these things and I'm trying to manage all of these thoughts and issues and concerns, I'm here for you. I want to make sure that you understand my business, you understand my philosophy, you understand our customers, you understand how to interact with them and grow as a professional as well.
Yeah.
I would say that was probably one of the most challenging things that I've ever had to deal with. And it's it's a painful thing to talk about because I did internally feel lost, but I knew I needed to be a leader, and I knew that I could not allow that to affect how I manage, and I didn't want to see I didn't want anyone to see me sweating, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a saying that entrepreneurship is not the first one to win. It's the person who doesn't give up. Like that's what entrepreneurship is. It's not giving up. It's consistency, persistence, resilience. And this is a great example because, things are building in your business, and then all of a sudden so much is going on and shit hits the fan, and it tests your persistency, right? It requires you to build more resilience and overcome and show up even though you're feeling defeated and maybe a little bit like you want to give up.
Sure.
Right. And I'm sure that thousands of other entrepreneurs can relate to that. Right.
I would say most.
Yeah, most. Right. And you still showed up, you put on your game face. And let me ask you, what have you built your business to today? Now, like, how many employees do you have? Right?
Well, there's 6 on our team. 4 of us are full-time. 2 of them are, contract employees, our CPA, as well as our media guy.
Yeah.
We're a healthy, happy little team, but successful nonetheless.
Yeah. So you went from no employees, having employees, to no employees, to now having a happy, successful group of employees.
And a place of our own, right?
Yeah.
A real brick and mortar establishment that is ours.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. You've got to show up every day, and you just shared a moment where sometimes you got to show up even though you want to tuck your head in the sand, right? What habits and routines do you embrace that you have to do on a regular basis in order for you to show up as the best version of yourself?
Oh man, I wish it was that easy. I know there are a lot of things that make me feel better. And I sometimes struggle with giving myself that time to complete those tasks that make me feel good. I get pulled in other directions, or I'm responsible for a family in addition to a sales team and a business. And I would say the things that I need to give myself each morning is a little bit of peace and quiet on my own. And it usually starts with a nice cup of coffee, a good stretch, 20 minutes of reading, a shower, and then I can do my daily routine at home, get breakfast made, which makes me feel good, provide for the family, snuggle the girls and make sure they get up and get ready for the day. And it just puts me in the right mood. And when I get into the office, I'm ready for the day.
Yeah.
I feel like I took care of things that were really important to myself and my family. If anyone sacrifices as much as me, it's them. The amount of travel I do and the amount of time I put into my team and my company. So I would say that is probably the highest quality routine that I can consistently complete to make sure that my day is going to be successful.
Yeah. And I'm glad you shared that, because so many great leaders have shared that the morning is like the time, the you time, the me time, right? And you recognize that when you take that time and you treat it as sacred.
I do.
That you're literally sourcing energy that's going to allow you to show up in a way that not only you deserve, but the ones that you serve deserve as well. So that's great. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Imagine you encounter a young Anthony, okay, about to start his business. He's face to face with you. What advice would you give him today?
Ask for more help. Ask for more help. Be more vulnerable. Feel like it was my responsibility. It was my choice, and I needed to come through and make it all happen. And I leaned on myself too much for things that I just didn't quite understand. And had I been more inquisitive and more vulnerable, I feel like I could have avoided some pitfalls.
Right.
And probably relieve a fair bit of stress and anxiety, or anxious moments anyway. I don't know that I would have ever developed anxiety, but There are anxious moments, right? Situations that you can't stop the palms from sweating and the heart from beating. And if I was a bit more vulnerable, I think I could have asked the right questions. And everyone deals with these types of things when you're starting a business. When you're an entrepreneur, you always second guess the decisions you've just made when you need to just let them go and move on. Or if you feel so inclined, ask for some help or ask for some support or a sounding board of some sort. I would tell a younger Anthony, don't bottle it all up, share it.
Yeah. I think that's really important advice. And thank you for sharing, because there are too many people who internalize everything, believe that they can problem solve on their own. And I use the term be a lone wolf in all of this. And there's just such power in community. And there's so many incredible resources available. And you don't have to be afraid to ask for help. And it's one of those things, I think, where it's like your ego gets in the way.
Sure.
Right. And we've identified as I can do this all on my own, let me be type thing. But great advice. I think everyone should listen to that for sure. For sure. Your business has evolved a lot in the last decade, and your leadership as well, your team, the industry. What are you most excited about in the future?
I think the thing that I'm thinking about most, which will one day bring me a lot of excitement, is bringing up the next generations of reps below me. You know, as an entrepreneur, you build a business that in my case, I wanted to build something that someone wanted to buy someday, something that had value. It's part of the reason why I say that I don't want my kids to be in the business, because I don't want to gift it to them, and I just want something that someone wants to be a part of and wants to nourish and take to the next level. And I grew up as a young man in the industry, and some might say I'm still pretty young for having a business for the past 18 years.
Yeah.
But that there's also a transitioning point for me at some point. And the only way that works is if I can bring someone up beneath me that might be a generation or maybe two below me, so that they've got time to build into it and turn it into what they want, so that one day I can say I built a business that somebody bought and it's still successful and it still carries on. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's something that I think about a lot that would make me proud.
So that in mind, what's required of you and your leadership in order to make that happen?
I think it really just means I need to take some chances and invest more time and in training and education, and I need to make a big investment. And when you're an entrepreneur, especially with a small business, every dollar goes somewhere. It all matters. And when you struggle to build a business for so many years, when it finally comes to a point where you can afford to you can afford to pay your employees a great salary and provide all the resources they need to be successful, and you can finally enjoy some of the fruits of your labor, you realize that you've got to put it all back on the line again. And when you're building the business, that's all it is. You're pulling it in and pushing it back, pulling it in and pushing it back. And it's probably just time to give another push. But it's a thing worth wrestling.
Right. Yeah. And there's, like you said, there's a lot of reasons why you can hold back from doing those things or resist. Right? So, but the beauty is that you're aware of what's required, and that's, and you've openly shared about it. So I'm going to hold you accountable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to learn what it takes, and that means taking the first step, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You have a question for him? Not in this one? Okay, cool. Sometimes he's got extra questions.
Okay.
All right, but
Did I murder it? Is that why you don't have any more
you
questions?
crushed it.
No, I was figuring something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You didn't crush it at all. No, just kidding. Well, that wraps things up then.
Cool.
So
I could pull one up.
no, that's cool.
No, that's
That's
all right.
cool. No, that's cool. Look, really appreciate having
man.
you today, man. It's a real honor to have leaders showing up here, willing to share their experience, the learnings, the growth, the vulnerability. And it means a lot. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the viewers. And I'm sure that somebody's going to take something from this and be like, man, that really connected with me. I appreciate that. So thank you for
Yeah,
showing up, man.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Thank you, bud.